Welcome everyone to another episode of Price Targets with your host Bitcoin Jack. It's Monday. I hope everyone has had a good chance to get some rest. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin and we're going to be looking at ETH. ETH has been banging. I want to talk about Litecoin too, and I want to pull up a chart maybe on one or two more altcoins if I have time left at the end of the video. First, your attention for Prime XBT, the exchange that is sponsoring this content and is making it possible for me to record these videos every week. So if you really appreciate my videos, please check out the link in the description below. You're going to get a deposit bonus up to 0.5 Bitcoin. 50% of your first deposit will be accredited to your account. And there are some rules to it, so make sure that before you deposit anything that you check out what the rules are so you don't get disappointed. Thank you Prime for sponsoring, and awesome. Let's dive into Bitcoin. I'm not really sure where I left off last Wednesday, but we talked about the region here at the retest of the range low that we kind of reclaimed, and we talked about gaining the level here and holding it. So far we're kind of doing both things. I think a lot of people were afraid, including myself, that if we would come down, that we may actually come down all the way to 51k, and we didn't. As I said last week that I took some off at resistance here, and you know, sometimes these things go the way they do. I managed to get some exposure at 53k on a low time frame premise, and upgraded it into a bit of a bigger swing. Now I'm just hoping that, I took some profit again here. We're having some low time frame fuckery happening, and I'm looking to keep some of my long, not everything, into the 61k dollars, because that's kind of where the deviation happened here. We talked about that last week too. So really, if price does manage to get above 65k, obviously that's very bullish, but the resistance is going to be around, we never know for sure, but there's a bunch of wicks here, and then you have the expansion up here that caused the deviation. So it's logical for the resistance to occur somewhere in this bullish daily candle that happened on the 13th of April. And the 61,250 level is the level that we've been drawing way back. I think it was after the retest at 28k, we drew the 61,250 level. So I don't know. It's possible for Bitcoin to, lose a daily here again. It's kind of, it's a level that we cannot really trade anymore, I guess, because it's retested and bounced already. And then, if we look back through the range, it's been, going through it a lot. So it's absolutely not a very clean level to trade on the high time frame anymore, because we interacted with it here. We had support here, we fell through, then it was resistance, and it held it again, and then it came back down again. So that's not, interesting to look at. What is interesting to look at though is the recent price action, which is this block right here, and preferably we hold it. And the most, even more recently, is this block, and for now we're holding that too. So there's liquidity below the wick here, and there is a bullish block at this. Probably if we look at the 4 hour, we're going to be able to see that a little bit more defined. There's a breakdown here that then reversed pretty hard into new highs here. So essentially down here is demand. If we come back down to test it, that's where I expect for price to respect the level. If we don't, that's kind of, it's going to become awkward, and I'm not really sure what I'll be doing, but that's not what I'm anticipating, and my stop's is going to be much higher than that. I think overall I'm bullish here. And I'm expecting that we're going to go into the 61 level range a little bit as I drew last week. Maybe a little bit deeper than the squiggly here, but essentially this now is our range. And if we just use these quote-unquote arbitrary levels, this is the 3-day level that we've been going through again and again. So let's grab the middle of it. So we're kind of, battling with the middle of this range. If we want to use this level, then we got rejected straight at the 0.5. So essentially what I do expect is that if we go through the 0.5, that will probably reach into here and we may retrace. And we don't necessarily have to hold the 0.5 then. Maybe we're going to get into a discount and get as low as, let's see, 618 or even lower, the 786. But essentially that's where your discount is going to occur, and possibly this high here at that point, or this high here at that point, is going to be the support level we're looking at. The good thing is that on this move upwards, we braided the lows here, respected the level. So I think this is, looking pretty healthy. If we really zoom in, just get this out of the way. If we really zoom in here, this can turn on a low time frame. I don't know. I'm not really sure where it's gonna go. Quite possibly just range a little bit, come down into the demand here. If we lose that, that's kind of, that's gonna suck. Then it's gonna come down. All right, here, this low here, is then probably gonna get rated. But I do think that this eventually is going to visit 61,250. So optimistic, cautiously optimistic. And I'm hoping that this is going to hold, although this is a very nasty wick down. And if we look at Bybit, that was super ugly. Let's see, Bitcoin. I think it's this one. Yeah, so that had like $1 billion volume here in this hourly, and then that's kind of battling to either get rejected here, then come down further, or it's going to go up. But this is not a place where I'd be looking to get an entry. I think that kind of covers my view on Bitcoin. And let's see, let's go back to the daily. So yeah, bit of ranging between 56, 55 and 61 to eventually leave the range. And I do think it's going to see continuation upwards here. But I don't expect it in the next couple of days. I think this is going to range and capture a bunch of traders offside. Funding has been ramping up slightly again on some of the future exchanges, perpetual swaps. So that's just something to keep looking at. It's been quite neutral, negative ever since we bounced, and now it's kind of turning bullish again. So basically everyone's been selling the whole way up, and now everyone's buying. So if this is going to be a range and this is going to break down, then we're just going to be patient. And it's I don't think it's a bad move to start taking some profit in this range if you are long from down below, because there will be new opportunities to long with a little bit more risk-defined entries. We'll have to see how the daily closes. I hope that makes sense. And well, if it doesn't, hopefully next week I'll be able to address some of the questions if there might be any. Dogecoin, I don't know. Is this thing gonna go to $1? Like, is it gonna happen? I wouldn't be surprised if it actually does. Like everyone and their dog and their mom and they're trading, and it's available at a lot of non-crypto brokers as well. So I think it's a beautiful gateway drug. I don't feel like this is a place where it's a smart move to long Doge, because it's at resistance of the 786 here. This could very well be some kind of C wave here, or a truncated fifth wave. I don't know, like, I wouldn't long it. Anyways, I was not going to talk about Doge. I was going to talk about ETH. ETH, go to the daily. This is our squiggly from last week. I'm kind of salty because I did get some exposure, but I kind of hoped that it would come down a little bit lower. So I did get some exposure here at the SR flip, but kind of hoped that it would, maybe come down here. So again, not really great size on it, although, profit is profit, and it's doing well. So I'm starting to take some profit as we reach into the gray zone. Anyone who's been following this series recognizes this gray zone from, I don't know, I think I drew it back in, maybe all the way back in like March, May, April of 2020, a complete year ago. So we'll finally reach this target, and I think, looking at the structure here, that a lot of people are, going to take profit around here, but there remains to be some inefficiencies above too. So it wouldn't be surprising to me that we continue into here. And for now, I'm just going to be taking slight profits, and maybe we can identify a little bit of a spot where, it would be worthwhile to get long again. It's probably, when I look at this, but I would have to, see how that works out in real time. But this is a level where I'd be interested if we kind of manage to wick down into it, and otherwise just, take some profit, hold, and start stacking bits into this region here. For now, it seems that buyers have been aggressive and have not been, have been front running the block. So this is a block that kind of led to this breakout, and then there is a little block here that kind of happened at the resistance here, and it seems that for now, kind of, it's been front running it. Small wick into it, but so aggressive entries seemingly have been the way to go, although I personally don't like doing them, because you never know if they hold, and if they don't hold, you just don't have as much of an asymmetric return and risk. So patience, and I hope that we get the chance for this to kind of range between the level here and, the support here on the high time frame, before it then shoots up into orange. That would give some really nice opportunities to long and short ETH, and we'll have to figure and see that. LTC daily, I think it's starting to coil up from here. We talked about how last week the rejection here, the support here at the trend line. I think we're going to coil back up into resistance, and I think it's going to have a nice little rally. It's going to be tough for this thing to kind of get past this region, but once it does, there should be opportunity to long it into orange. So I'm really liking Litecoin, and I think, with everything there, I don't know if there's much going on, but they're going to be implementing some privacy features, so maybe that's just going to be the catalyst that we need. And I've been speculating about that catalyst for a while, but just been taking forever. So hopefully the opportunity cost is not as big anymore as it used to be on Litecoin. I think that kind of concludes the 3 altcoins that, or the 2 altcoins that I usually talk about. But let's dive into Cope. Cope is a coin made by Siri. He's a huge friend of the crypto community, and I think this coin has probably the most organic support on crypto Twitter and around it, and it's been airdropped to people who voted in the Solana hackathon, and then they won and they got listed on FTX. So there's a bunch of people who got airdropped a bunch of this, and it has active development, and they're building a platform to rank and gamify and analyze your trades and your trading and influences, and kind of be able to see who's performing well, who's not performing well, who to follow, who not to follow, and build strategies around it. So that's kind of I think there is some really cool potential there, and there might be future value to this coin. So essentially, I think, and I hope, that this is going to go into at least 8.5. This chart has been on Twitter, and I've been waiting for the daily SR flip here. Took a pretty long time to actually complete, but now it did it. So 8.5 is our next target, and I think this is easily going to get eventually to double digits. So 10, 11. For now, just have to draw some levels, grab the bottom here, and then we grab the top here. This should get us around $8.50. So any pullback to the SR flip here should be along into there, and invalidation is below here. And the other coin that's performing really well is UTK on the BTC pair, reached into current target. So it's not really a place to get long, but any pullback into the SR flip, which actually essentially already happened here, should, in my opinion, especially if we flip this, which we'll see if it happens, it's going to be along into 1700 sats, which is pretty sizey rally, considering that we just, we were at below 1,000 sats 2 days ago. That would be almost a double. And then we have the BTC pair, the USD pair, sorry, which if we zoom out, just gonna do it like this, get to the log scale. It does feel and seem that we gain the middle of the range, and usually when that kind of stuff happens, if it doesn't break down, again, I do think that it's just going to go for the all-time high. That's going to be very, very impressive if it happens, because it's been bleeding for most of 2018 and 2019, and then 2020, it's up a significant amount. It would be really nice to see that. I think there's some opportunity. I'm going to keep that updated on Twitter. And so those were my 2 bonus olds. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everything was clear. And I'll probably not make a video on Wednesday, because it's, I don't know how you call that in English, but Freedom Day, the day that the Dutch got the war stopped in 1945. And so it's a national holiday, and I think I'm just going to be with my dad and have a little bit of a free day. So Thursday, next video, and I'll catch you then. Thank you, Prime, for sponsoring, and catch everyone on Thursday. Peace.